Hi, it's me, Mix Rosebud. But for this video, we'll just be Rose. I see a lot of those videos on my recommended, and I've watched quite a few of people just sort of talking about random things. And I really like them. I think it provides a lot more of a, I guess, real is the best word I can think of at this moment, sort of perspective on YouTube and content creation. And I was just playing on the server that I'm on right now, and realized that I just wanted to make one of those videos, because I'm 18. I don't have any real perspective or anything really to provide that's really helpful or useful to anyone in particular. But I figured, why not? You know, I would love to just sit down and talk. Maybe I'll make this a weekly thing, because I'm trying to find any way and excuse to upload more often. And so I figure this would be a good way to do it. So I have a really hard time with motivation. It's a big struggle. I get burnt out very, very easily, and I you know I find it hard to continue to find the motivation and the want to create content, especially because I will be so on my grind and so like, yeah, let's do this. Let's record and edit this video right here now. And then I'll get to the edit. Especially, it's usually in the edit too, where everything just sort of feels weird and it doesn't quite feel as exciting anymore. I guess it really comes down to the excitement of making the videos, because it's the same thing for me with streaming, because when I stream iron. uh when I stream, it's a lot of fun, but I get so tired during the stream so quickly, which leads me to not really want to stream that often. But it's still something that I so enjoy doing, and something I've been wanting to get back into. But I've just had a really hard time doing so. But I just kind of, I feel a really like big sense of just nothingness when it comes to content creation, especially recently. The channel's been doing kind of well. Not super well, but it's at a place where I could say, "Hey, you know, I'm gaining followers. I'm doing okay. If I continue at this rate, it might be a little while before this goes anywhere, but it will go somewhere." Which is, the reason I do YouTube is to just have a platform for me to have fun and for other people to have fun, and a place for me to be creative and share that creativity with others, which is sort of what the platform's built off of. Or at least it was. Less so nowadays, but there is still that. It still does exist to a certain degree. And it's something that's always sort of drawn me to the site and to the platform. And it's something I would love to see, and I have seen recently, take effect and come back in a major way. Especially with videos like this of people just sitting down, usually playing like classic Minecraft. I'm on the newest version because why not? But just people sitting down and playing Minecraft and just talking, ranting, rambling, giving their life perspective, and I've really enjoyed it. I think it's really, really cool. Again, hence why I'm taking a stab at this. Honestly, I don't know if I'll edit or upload this video at all, and if I do, I'm probably not going to do much to push it or promote it, because I'm being me. I'm not being my online persona, which obviously there is a persona, And even now, this isn't, like 100% Rose, how I act all the time. It's, it's still a content version of me, but it's just less so. It's more of how I actually talk and act. I'm not really that high energy outside of recordings or streams. And even during recordings and streams, I'm still not very high energy. But, I'm just enough to make it interesting, I guess. Which can lead to a sense of inauthenticity, which I think is a word. You know what I mean. It feels inauthentic. It doesn't feel as real. But, that is still a part of me, because I don't think any content creator is truly not themselves on camera. They are just heightened versions of themselves, that's how I view it, and that's how I sort of act. But videos like these sort of strip that act away. It strips away the performance of it. And that's what I'm doing here. I guess this is letting me be a little bit more open and less mysterious and closed off, I guess. Obviously, I think there should be a certain level of, not necessarily distance, but separation between a creator and their art and their audience. But I feel like it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can still give parts of yourself and your thoughts and beliefs while still, having those things be private, and still having your private life and personal life be personal and private. You can be open and honest with your audience and with people online without selling your soul to them, for lack of a better term, I guess. And I've always sort of strived to be sort of everyone's friend online, whether literally or not. Obviously, if you're a viewer or a fan, that's a little bit different than if you're a close personal friend. But, I can be friendly with people online, and I can, I can have a connection with an audience without it being a parasocial relationship. And that's something that you don't really see, especially with bigger content creators, because they can't really have a relationship with their audience. They can address their audience as if they're a friend, but to someone like, say, Tommy Innit, who has millions of subscribers and millions of viewers just watching him all the time and scrutinizing his every move, first off, the scrutinizing makes it really hard to have that connection, but also the fact that there are so many viewers and there are so many people watching him at all times makes it really, really difficult. And the same thing happened to Markiplier. He had a really close connection with his audience, and then he got too big. He got too famous, and he, I don't want to say he lost that connection, because he still keeps a fairly personal relationship with his fan base, but it is a fan base, not a friend group. And that's an important distinction, which, I strive to be like that. I strive to be somewhat open and honest in my friend group, or not my friend group, my fan base, who, in all honesty, does not exist. Not many people watch my videos, and that's okay. It's part of the growing process of being a YouTuber, but, it's just, it's hard, It's hard to stay motivated to keep making content and to continue when there's no one there to share your successes and failures with. It's really, really difficult for me, and I know a lot of other people, and that's a big reason why a lot of other people quit besides poor intentions with their channels, like doing it only for money or for fame, which I personally think is not a good reason to be a YouTuber or content creator. Performer is a slightly different ballpark, which I don't. I am a musician, but I don't do it for fame or money, because if I did, first off, that would be really sad, because no one listens to my music. Most of the views and subscribers that I initially have on any of my social medias or anything is me. It's just me on my other channels and my other accounts. Because if I don't watch it and I don't like it and I don't subscribe, then who will? Which is, you know, some people see that as cheating, and some people see that as unfair or fake. But I do this to have an audience, but not just to have an audience. I do this to have an audience that I can share my creativity with, and a place where people can go at the end of the night when they're having the worst time of their life, and just to think and to wind down, and to think that, hey, maybe life isn't all bad, and maybe the world isn't such a horrible place, and maybe, you know, in some scenarios, maybe give them a reason to think that this world is a place for them to be in. Because I know that I've struggled with that a lot, with the feeling of not wanting to be around and not feeling like there is a place for me here. But content creation has sort of opened that door back up to me, of that feeling of belonging, and that maybe the world isn't terrible. Maybe there is a purpose for me here. And maybe this is it. I'm probably going to end this now, because I feel like I'm rambling on more than I've already rambled on, which is kind of the point of the video. But stay safe out there. Stay safe, have fun. Subscribe if you want. I don't know. This video probably won't even have a description. But just know you're not alone, and that life goes on, and it gets better, and there is something at the other end. So it's hard to believe. Trust me, I know. But even if it doesn't feel great right now, it will one day. And I know that from personal experience. Hopefully next week's video will be a lot more lighthearted, a lot less, you know, personal and deep, I guess. This isn't really that deep, but you feel me. Anyways, I've rambled on enough. So good night, goodbye, good morning, good evening, and adios.